The sweet smell of wisteria flowers, big purple blossoms that look like soft-hanging grapes, and very fancy perfume fills my nose when I take a long, deep breath. I have been traveling in my small car for 3 whole hours, driving from my tiny, squeezed, messy apartment in busy Chicago all the way to my family's big, neat house in the quiet suburbs. It feels strange to be here again after everything I have been through. For 3 long years, 1,095 days, which is a very big number, I studied and studied and studied. I read giant, heavy books called casebooks. I drank so much coffee that sometimes my hands shook. I ate so much ramen that I could make it in my sleep. I stayed awake until my eyes were red and watery because I wanted to pass something very important called the Illinois bar exam. That exam decides if someone can be a lawyer or not. And last Tuesday, everything changed with one small email. "Congratulations, you have passed the bar." I cried when I read it. I felt proud of myself in a way I had never felt before. When I called my mom to tell her, she gasped loudly and sounded happy. At least I thought so. "Wonderful, dear. You must come home Saturday night. We have a huge surprise for you." But before I continue, hit the subscribe button and tell me where are you watching this from, and what time of day is it? I believed her. I thought she meant the surprise was for me because of my big accomplishment. I thought the family was finally going to celebrate something I did. So now, here I am, stepping through the back gate of my parents' house in my best interview suit, the fancy one I saved money for months to buy. I walk inside expecting a nice, quiet family dinner or maybe a small party to say, "Good job." Instead, I see over 50 people dressed in shiny clothes, laughing and chatting in the yard. A live band plays soft jazz music under strings of tiny lights that sparkle like stars. The grass is perfect and the air feels too clean. But what shocks me most is the giant, cream-colored silk banner hanging across the whole patio. "Congratulations on your engagement, Eloan and Soren." My stomach drops so fast it feels like I fell down an invisible staircase. My breath catches in my throat. My hands turn cold. And there she is, my sister Eloan. She is 27 and looks absolutely perfect in a sparkly champagne-colored dress that catches every bit of light. She holds up her hand to show everyone a massive diamond ring, so big it could almost blind me. People gasp and clap and cheer around her because Eloan loves that kind of attention. Beside her stands her new fiancé, Soren Vance. He looks handsome, tall, and polite. But his smile looks a little stiff, like he isn't sure he wants to be here either. Soren comes from real money, the kind my mother has spent her whole life dreaming about, talking about, chasing like it's treasure. Suddenly everything makes sense. This surprise was never for me. It was never about me passing the bar or all my hard work. I am not the star of the night. I am not even a small star. I am not even a background star. I am nothing. I feel like I'm just here to help, like someone who carries food trays or fills cups. I feel like I am only here to serve the event, not be part of it. A numb, cold feeling spreads through my chest and down to my fingers. My smile freezes on my face, the same fake smile I use at every family event. Sweat gathers under my suit jacket. I wore this nice suit thinking tonight was my special moment. Instead, I feel like I wore a Halloween costume to a fancy wedding. "Oh, Azra, you made it." "Good, good." My mother calls out when she sees me. She is 58, but she looks many years younger because of expensive creams and because she only remembers things that make her look good. She comes toward me, not with a warm hug or a "I'm proud of you," but with her hand grabbing my wrist tightly. Her nails press into my skin. "You look exhausted. All that studying, I suppose." Before I can say anything, Eloan walks over, holding a glass of bubbly champagne. "Oh my God, Azra," she says with a giggle. "Thanks for coming. I know you're busy with your little books, but this is so important to me." Her words poke me like tiny pins. "Mom," I ask quietly, "you said this surprise was for me?" My mother laughs. It is sharp and bright, like glass breaking on a floor. "Of course. The surprise is that your sister is marrying into a wonderful family." Then she leans in close so only I can hear her. Her breath smells like mint and champagne. "Now be a dear and go get more ice for the guests from the kitchen." Her tone tells me it isn't a request. It is an order. I remember something from last Christmas. I didn't come home because I had to study for a big practice test. My mother called me over and over. She said Eloan cried. She said Dad was disappointed. She said I was selfish. But now I see the truth. They didn't miss me. They missed my help. They missed me running around doing chores for them. They missed me being their background worker. Not family. Worker. My eyes sting with tears. I have felt guilty for so long, and now I feel foolish for ever believing their words. The shame and hurt make my body feel small, like I'm curling in on myself to disappear. But then I look across the yard and see Soren, Alohan's fiancé. He's standing alone watching me. He isn't smiling. His eyebrows are slightly squished together like he's worried. Something inside me straightens. No, I say softly but firmly. I'm not getting the ice. I think I'll go say hello to the guests. My mother's eyes widened in surprise. This isn't the part one was assigned to play. But I turn around and walk away, my heels sinking into the perfect grass. My hands shake, but I keep walking. Inside me, something new grows, cold but strong. Sharp but clear. Like a diamond. 3 years. 1,095 days. I did all that alone. I don't need them to be proud of me. Behind me, my mother laughs loudly and tells everyone, "My older daughter is always so independent." Her voice sounds fake, like plastic. I don't look back. For the first time in 32 years, I am doing something real at a family party. The party buzzes around me like a crowd of fancy, hungry bees. People eat tiny snacks and drink champagne that bubbles like soda. I step away to a quiet corner near a garden trellis covered with flowers. My throat still burns from trying not to cry. I lean against a cool wall, happy to feel something steady. Then I hear voices on the other side. One of them is my father's deep voice. "Oh, Carter, your girls are so accomplished." "I hear Azura just passed the bar," says Richard Whitman, Dad's golf friend. I hold my breath. This is my moment. Dad will finally brag about me. But instead, he laughs. "My Azura? She just passed some test. But Alohan? She's my retirement plan. This wedding is going to solve all our money problems." The words hit me like a punch. My chest tightens. My fingers grip my champagne glass, so hard I think it will break. Richard laughs too. Smart with the Vance boy. Old money. Exactly, Dad says. Soren's father is on the board of 3 big companies. This marriage, this merger, is what we need. My heart sinks so low I can almost feel it touching the ground. Memories swirl in my mind. All the times they told me to wait for my trust fund. All the times they said Alohan needed the money more. All the times they made me feel bad for asking. They weren't saving the money. They were spending it. All of it. On Alohan's clothes. Her makeup. Her parties. Her social media pages. Her fake perfect life. All so she could meet someone rich. My stomach twists. I walk away slowly and carefully until I reach the rose garden. There, Aunt Eulalia is talking to my mother. Eulalia looks furious. "I can't believe you did this to her," she whispers loudly. "Be quiet," my mother snaps. Azura needs to know her place. Today is about Alohan. This has to work. Work for what? To keep stealing from the trust fund. Eulalia spits. "That money is for both girls. What you're doing is wrong." "It's an investment," my mom hisses. "Azura will thank us someday." Inside me, something stops hurting. It becomes hard. Solid. Sharp. My lawyer brain switches on like a bright light. I am done being sad. Done being quiet. Across the lawn, Soren stands alone again. He looks nervous. Lost. Confused. Maybe even worried. I walk toward him. "Hi, Soren. I'm Azura," I say, shaking his hand. "Congratulations. You must really love Alohan to ignore this family." His eyes widened. "Overlook. You know," I say softly. "We're a lot." He looks like he understands something he didn't before. But just then, Aunt Eulalia appears and hugs me tight. "I'm so proud of you, counselor," she whispers. On the patio, a small stage appears. My mother walks up and taps the microphone. The music stops. Everyone stares. She talks about Alohan's beauty, Alohan's charm, Alohan's bright future. Dad toasts Alohan's great taste in men. Everyone laughs. Everyone cheers. Not one word about me. But somewhere deep inside, a strange thing happens. I feel free. Light. Like someone finally took a heavy backpack off my shoulders. I pull out my phone. Slowly. Quietly. I open the voice recorder. I press the red button. Just in time. Alohan giggles through her speech, flashing her giant ring like a tiny sun. More people talk for 20 minutes straight about how perfect she is. I stand still, recording everything. Every word. Every laugh. Every false compliment. And I keep the recording safe in my pocket. I slip my phone into my pocket and turn to walk toward the bar, but I stop suddenly. Someone is standing in my way. It is Alohan. She is smiling, but not a nice smile. Her smile looks like it is pasted onto her face, and her eyes look sharp and mean like tiny knives. She is holding a glass of champagne, and it is very easy to tell that she has had more than one glass. Maybe more than 3. She sways a little like a tree in the wind. There you are, she says in a voice that sounds sugary but sour at the same time. Hiding in the shadows again, like always. Congratulations, Aloan, I say. My voice comes out calm and steady, even though she is trying to poke at me with her words. She leans in close, so close I can smell the sweet, expensive drink on her breath. It smells like fruit, bubbles, and trouble. See my nerdy sister? She whispers loudly. This is real success. She points at her face, which is covered in perfect makeup, and then slides her hand down her sparkly dress. Men don't marry books. Men don't marry degrees. They marry someone who looks like this. Someone pretty. Someone fun. You spent 3 whole years reading and studying. And now what do you have? A piece of paper and a bunch of loans. Huh. I open my mouth to respond, but before any sound comes out, I see something behind her. Someone is standing there quietly, watching and listening. It is Soren. His face changes as he hears her words. His jaw becomes tight like a stone, and his eyes become narrow and cold. Before anything can happen, Aunt Eulalia appears next to me out of nowhere. She touches my arm gently, the way someone touches a cat they don't want to scare away. Don't, she whispers. You're better than this. Aloan still hasn't noticed Soren behind her. She flips her long hair and keeps waiting for me to get upset. She wants me to cry. She wants me to defend myself. She wants me to look weak, so she can feel strong. Instead, I look right into her eyes. You're right, Aloan, I say. This is your success. Enjoy it. Her smile wobbles like jelly. She didn't expect that answer. She didn't expect calmness. She didn't expect me to be strong. She only understands fights and tears. But I give her neither. She turns around to see why I am smiling, but Soren has already disappeared into the crowd. He is gone like smoke. Aunt Eulalia guides me away from the party noise and blinking lights. We walk to a stone bench beneath a wisteria arbor. The purple flowers hang down in soft bunches that look like grape clusters. The air smells sweet and peaceful like a spring dream. I'm proud of you, Aunt Eulalia says as she squeezes my hand. You passed the bar exam, and you stood up for yourself tonight. Thank you for being here, I told her. She looks at me with warm eyes. Azura, your parents, they have always been this way. Their actions were never about you. You didn't do anything wrong. They just don't know how to be better. I know that now, I say quietly. Someone calls Aunt Eulalia from across the yard. She sighs. Will you be okay? Better than okay, I say. When she walks away, I sit alone under the purple flowers. The party continues without me. I see people laughing and smiling, but all I hear is fake happiness. I used to want so badly to be part of it. I used to think if I tried hard enough, worked hard enough, they would finally say I was good enough. They would finally see me. But now I realize something big. I don't need revenge. I don't need to shout. I don't need them to clap for me. I just need to win my own life. I walk to my car and get my laptop. Then I sneak inside through the side door of the house and go into my father's study. The room smells like leather, paper, and fancy cologne. Everything is expensive and dark brown. I sit down in his huge chair, and it feels like sitting in a king's throne. I open my laptop and check my email. There is a message from a big law firm in Chicago, Kirkland & Ellis. One of the most famous law firms in the whole country. They emailed me 3 days ago, but I was too upset to notice. The email says, Ms. Monroe, we were impressed with your grades and your bar exam results. Please schedule an interview with us. I blink at the screen. Kirkland & Ellis. They want to talk to me. I quickly type a reply and say I can interview on Monday morning. Then I open a new tab and look up apartments in Lincoln Park, a fancy part of Chicago. The kind of place with pretty streets and big trees and safe sidewalks. The kind of place I could live if I got that job. As I scroll, something on my dad's desk catches my eye. A stack of papers, neatly piled but not hidden. I pull them closer. The top paper is a bank statement from the trust fund my grandmother made for Aloan and me. It used to have $100,000. Now it only has $65,000. Next to the statement is another paper. It's a receipt from Chanel. An $8,000 handbag, the same one Aloan bragged about at the party. She told everyone she bought it for herself as a little pre-engagement gift. But she bought it with our trust fund money. I take out my phone and snap photos of the papers. Exhibit A. I whisper like a detective. I put everything back exactly the way I found it. The music from the party sounds different now. It doesn't bother me anymore. I have proof. I have a plan. And for the first time tonight, I feel truly in control. Monday morning arrives. I sit in front of my laptop, fixing my suit jacket. It's the same one I wore to the terrible party, but today it feels strong. It feels like a superhero cape. The Zoom screen opens. 5 important partners appear. They look serious and smart. "Ms. Monroe, your bar exam results are excellent," one of them says. "Top 3% in all of Illinois." I smile a real smile. "Thank you." For 90 minutes, I answer question after question. I talk clearly. I talk confidently. I talk like someone who knows her worth. They ask why I want to work at their firm. "Because I believe in excellence," I say. "And your firm shows excellence every day." Tuesday afternoon. The offer letter arrives. 6-figure salary. $50,000 signing bonus. Benefits. Everything I dreamed of. I read it once. Twice. 3 times. Each time, the number stays the same. Then my phone rings. My mother's name flashes on the screen like a warning sign. I want to ignore it, but I answer. "Azura," she says. "We need to talk about Saturday." "What about it?" I say, my voice flat. "Soren has been asking questions. About our family. About you." Aloan says he's been distant. "We're having a family dinner this Saturday. A healing dinner. You must come. Soren needs to see that we are a normal family." Her voice drips with sweetness, but it's fake sweetness. Like sugar on poison. I look at the job offer again. My future. "Of course, Mother," I say. "I'll be there." Then I click accept offer. 2 clicks. My new life begins in 2 weeks. I walk to the window and look out at the Chicago skyline. The lights sparkle like stars. Then I realize something important. My family only cares when they think they're losing control. They ignored me for 3 years. But now that Soren is asking questions, they need me. Fine. If they want a show, I'll give them one. The phone rings again. It's Aloan this time. "What did you say to Soren?" she cries. "He keeps asking about our family and our money. You're trying to ruin everything." I lean against the kitchen counter. "I didn't say anything," I say calmly. "Maybe he's just smart." And I hang up before she can yell more. She calls again, and again, and again. I ignore every call. Instead, I call Aunt Eulalia. "Azura," she says. "I was just thinking about you." "The party was a disaster," I told her. "Yes," she says softly. "We're having a healing family dinner on Saturday. Can you come? I need someone who is on my side." "Of course," she says immediately. "What time?" 6. "And Eulalia, thank you." Friday. I'm reading my new job contract when Dad calls. His voice is quiet and sad in the way he knows makes me feel guilty. "Azura," he says, "you're breaking your mother's heart. You're tearing the family apart. Is that big job in Chicago not going well? Come home. Say sorry to Aloan. Don't let your ambition make you forget who your family is." Ambition. As if my hard work is something bad. "I'll see you tomorrow, Dad," I say. Then I hung up. His guilt tricks don't work anymore. Instead, they make me stronger. Saturday. The sky is clear and blue. I dress in a charcoal gray suit. Not the interview suit. This one is sharper, cleaner, more powerful. It feels like armor again. I put the bank statement into a folder. And the Chanel receipt. And the job offer letter. 3 pieces of truth. Exhibit A, B, and C. I look at myself in the mirror. I don't look tired anymore. I look brave. I look ready. I drove for 3 hours. The city fades. The suburbs fade. Trees appear. Then fancy houses. My childhood home looks the same, but I feel different. I see Aunt Eulalia's car. I see Soren's shiny BMW. I breathe in. The wind smells like wisteria. I ring the doorbell. Aloan opens the door. Her smile is too wide. Her eyes are full of worry. "You came," she says. "I said I would," I replied. Inside, the table is set with fancy plates and silver forks. My mother is arranging flowers too fast. My father is pouring wine too loudly. Aunt Eulalia and Soren look uncomfortable. Everything is pretend. A whole room full of pretend happiness. But this time, I brought the truth with me. I walk toward the table, the folder held firmly in my hand. Everyone turns to look. "Azura," my mother says in her sweetest, fakest voice, "you're just in time." The room smells like gardenias, fear, and lies. And I sit down, ready to finally tell the truth. For 2 whole hours, I sit at the long dinner table with my family, pretending everything is nice, even though inside my chest it feels tight and squeezed like someone wrapped rope around me. The room smells like fancy food, but I can't enjoy any of it. Aunt Eulalia sits at the very end of the table. She is quiet and calm. She doesn't talk much, but she sees everything, like a wise old owl who notices every tiny thing without making a sound. Soren sits beside my sister Aloan. His back is straight like a ruler, and he keeps his hands folded in his lap. Every time he talks, he chooses his words very carefully, like each one is a small glass ball that might break if he isn't gentle. 2 times, maybe even 3, I see him looking at me when he thinks I'm not paying attention. He looks curious, like he knows something important is happening, but he doesn't understand what yet. When we finish dessert, my mom sets her fancy fork down on her gold-patterned plate. The fork makes a soft clink, but the sound feels loud to me because the whole room is holding its breath. Mom looks at me with a soft smile, but her smile is the kind that makes your stomach twist because it isn't warm, it's icy cold. "All right, Sela," she says, folding her hands on the table like she is about to begin a meeting. "You owe your sister and Soren an apology for your childish behavior at the party." The room becomes even quieter. Aloan leans forward with a smile that looks like she already won some secret game. My dad stares into his empty wine glass like he hopes it can help him disappear or turn him invisible. I don't say a word. Mom keeps smiling that soft, scary smile. "Think carefully," she continues. "Soren's father is a very important man at a big law company. One phone call from him, and your whole dream of being a lawyer in Chicago could be ruined before it even starts." She reaches out and straightens a knife beside her plate, making it perfectly straight. Then she looks straight at me and says, "Now apologize." Her words feel like smoke filling the entire room, heavy, dark, and hard to breathe. Aunt Eulalia moves a little in her seat, like she wants to protect me or stand up for me, but she stays quiet. My eyes stay locked on Mom's face. And suddenly, for one small moment, I don't see her the way she wants to look, the fancy lady, the powerful mother. Instead, I see a woman who is scared, trying to hold on to control like a person holding sand that keeps slipping through their fingers. I feel something inside me settle into place. I give her a small, cold smile, the kind I practiced in mirrors at law school when I needed to look brave. "A senior partner at Sidley Austin?" I say, my voice smooth as glass. "Wow, that's impressive." Then I turn to Soren. "Soren, do you know why I went to law school?" He looks surprised. His eyes sharpen, like he is finally seeing the whole picture. "Why?" he asks. "Because I believe in the truth," I say. "And in showing proof." I reach behind me for my purse, hanging on the back of my chair. I pull out a leather folder. It feels heavy like the truth always does. I place it right on the middle of the table. "This family," I say clearly, "is like a fake business paper. A fraudulent prospectus." Mom's face turns hard like stone. "What nonsense," she snaps. I slide a bank statement in front of everyone. "Trust fund money," I say. "Only $65,000 left. And $8,000 spent on one handbag." I look Aloan right in the eyes. "And that's only one purchase," I say. "Mom lied about the party. Dad called you his retirement plan. And you, Aloan, spent $35,000 of our trust fund." Aloan turns as white as paper. She grabs Soren's arm tightly like she might fall over if she doesn't hold on to something. But Soren doesn't even notice her. He is staring at the papers like they are shining with fire. "How dare you?" Mom screams, standing up so fast her chair scrapes across the floor. Dad finally speaks. "Sela, you're taking things out of context." "No," I stand up. My voice is calm, steady, and powerful. "I'm not taking anything out of context. I'm not confused. I'm not scared. I'm done." The whole room freezes. For all 32 years of my life, I have been the quiet one, the good one, the one who keeps peace even when it hurts me. But tonight is different. Tonight I'm finished with that. For 3 years, I say, I paid for everything myself. I lived in a tiny studio apartment smaller than Mom's closet. I ate cheap ramen noodles while Aloan bought fancy Chanel clothes. I worked and worked while this whole family spent my future. I look right at Soren again. "You're smart," I tell him. "You know how to make choices." Then I take another paper from my folder, my job offer, and place it on top of the bank papers. "I got a job at Kirkland & Ellis," I say. "So no need for Soren's father to call anyone to ruin my chances. I don't think his company can scare mine." Mom's mouth opens, then closes. She has nothing to say for once. That silence is huge. "I came here to say 3 things," I say. 1. I want my $35,000 put back in the trust fund by next week. 2. I've accepted a new job. 3. I'm moving. Don't call me unless it's about the reimbursement. Aloan suddenly finds her voice. "You're just jealous of me," she screams. "You've always been jealous." "No, Aloan," I say softly. I'm not jealous. I'm finally awake. I look at Aunt Eulalia. She sits perfectly still, smiling just a tiny bit, like she is proud. She doesn't have to speak. She is my quiet witness. I push my chair in gently and walk toward the front door. Behind me, chaos explodes like fireworks. Aloan screams like a siren. Mom yells like thunder. Chairs scrape. Someone gasps. But above all that noise, I hear something else. Soren's voice, sharp and cold as ice. Stop, he says. Both of you. She's right. Show me the papers. I don't look back. Outside on the porch, the night air touches my face like cool water. I breathe in deeply. It feels like the first real breath I've taken in years. I sit inside my car. My hands rest on the steering wheel. I wait for fear, for shaking, for tears. None come. All I feel is stillness. I start the car and drive away from the house where I always felt like I wasn't enough. The porch light behind me shrinks smaller and smaller until it disappears into the darkness. As I drive back toward Chicago, toward my life, I understand something new and bright. The approval I begged for wasn't theirs to give me. It belonged to me all along. 6 months have passed. Now I work at Kirkland & Ellis. My office is on the 32nd floor, high in the sky. When I look out the window, I can see the whole city of Chicago sparkling like a treasure chest. I can also see Lake Michigan. The water shines golden under the November sun, like melted light. One day, I am stacking papers on my desk when someone knocks. Hey, Seela, says Oren, grinning with his tie loosened. We won the big motion. We're all going out to celebrate. Come join us, the partners are paying. A party. But this time it's a good party. A happy party. A party for something I helped build. I'll get my coat, I say. And for the first time in a long time, my smile is real. Not painted on, not practiced. Real. My phone buzzes. Mom's name appears. It's her 5th call this week. I look at the screen. Then I press decline and slide the phone away. I don't need her approval anymore. Later, I walk along Michigan Avenue. Big buildings rise up around me. Lights glow. Cars honk. People laugh. A cold wind brushes my cheeks, but I don't mind. I stop in front of a small art gallery. Inside are colorful paintings, splashes of blues and yellows. Something inside me pulls me toward them, so I go in. I'm just browsing, I tell the gallery owner. She nods kindly. I walk from painting to painting. It feels peaceful to look at colors for no reason except that I want to. I stayed for a long time. That night, I video call Aunt Eulalia. She smiles when she sees me. You look happy, she says. She doesn't need to ask anything. She just knows. I sent you a plane ticket, I say. Come visit me for Thanksgiving. I even have a guest room now. Her eyes twinkle. I'd love that. The next morning at work, I see Eliza, the new intern. She stands frozen at her desk, shaking a little as she looks at a tall stack of documents. Her hands tremble, just like my hands used to. You okay? I ask gently. This memo is due by lunch, she whispers. I can't do it. Deep breaths, I say, pulling up a chair beside her. You can do this. We'll break it down together. Slow is smooth. Relief fills her eyes. I know that feeling too well. That evening, I stood on the balcony of my condo. Chicago's lights shine like thousands of stars. The air smells like lake water and city life. My phone buzzes with a text from a number I don't know. I called off the wedding. Thank you for showing me the truth. Congratulations, Counselor Monroe. Soren. I read it twice. Then I delete it. His path is his. Mine is mine. I take a deep breath. I am free. 2 years later, freedom looks different. I rock my 1-year-old daughter, Callista, in my arms. She smells like baby powder. Her tiny hand curls around my finger. Ronan, my husband, stands behind me and wraps his arms around me. He kisses my temple gently. He is kind, clever, and warm, the kind of man who listens and cares. My phone lights up with a text from Aloan. Hi, Seela. Mom and Dad said they apologized. Callista's birthday is next week. I'd like to send her a gift. If that's okay. My breath catches. Ronan sees the look on my face. What is it? He asks softly. My sister, I whisper. I showed him the text. I don't know if I can answer, I say. He looks at Callista sleeping. Then he leans close and whispers. You don't have to do anything. But if you want to remember what you once told your intern. He smiles. Break it down. Slow is smooth. He's right. This isn't a war. It's not a battle. It's just a new page. A new memo. A new beginning. I breathe out a breath I've held for years. I look at Ronan. Then at Callista. This is my family. This is my truth. The old life can't hurt me anymore. Slowly, I pick up my phone and type. Thank you, Eloan. That's very kind. Callista would like that. I press send. It isn't forgiveness. It isn't forgotten. It's just the first small brick of something new. Placed gently. Slow and smooth.